July 13, 2011, North Carolina. Laura Ackerson, a devoted mother, set out to pick up her 2 sons from her ex, Grant Hayes. She never returned. Her car was found days later, abandoned. Laura was gone. The community was shaken. A mother vanished without a trace. Laura was creative, kind, and resilient. She'd built a new life in North Carolina, starting her own business and making friends. She dreamed of a loving family, determined to give her children the stability she never had. But her pursuit of happiness led her into a relationship that would change everything. Laura's friends described her as a beacon of positivity, always putting her children first. She overcame a difficult childhood, always believing in brighter days ahead. But sometimes, hope can blind us to danger. Laura's desire for family brought her to Grant Hayes, a man whose charm hid a darker side. That summer day, Laura believed she was simply picking up her boys. Instead, she walked into a nightmare. Her disappearance would spark a desperate search and a chilling investigation. The story of Laura Ackerson is not just about loss. It's about the hidden dangers that can lurk behind a smile. Her journey from hope to horror would leave a community forever changed. Laura's last goodbye was the beginning of a mystery that demanded answers. Her family and friends would not rest until they found the truth. The search for Laura was just beginning, and the darkness behind her disappearance was deeper than anyone could have imagined. This is the story of a mother's love, a broken promise, and a fight for justice. Laura's light was dimmed, but her story would not be forgotten. The truth was out there, waiting to be uncovered. And it all started with a mother's last goodbye. The nightmare was only beginning. In Raleigh, Laura met Grant Hayes, a charismatic musician with a magnetic pull. Their romance was fast and intense. Soon they had 2 sons. But beneath the surface, Grant's charm masked control and anger. He monitored Laura's every move, checked her phone, and isolated her from friends. The relationship became a cage. Laura tried to keep the peace for her children, hoping Grant would change, but the emotional abuse only grew. Grant twisted words, made Laura doubt herself, and kept her trapped in fear. She wanted her sons to have a father, but the dream of a happy family was slipping away. Laura's hope kept her tied to Grant, even as the darkness deepened. She tried to leave, but the bond of their children made it nearly impossible. The man she once loved became her greatest threat. Laura's world shrank to survival. She clung to hope, but it blinded her to the danger. The love story had become a nightmare, and Laura was running out of time. The warning signs were there, but sometimes love makes us ignore them. For Laura, the cost would be unimaginable. The fragile peace shattered when Amanda Perry Tucker entered the picture. Amanda, another mother, quickly became Grant's new partner and Laura's adversary. Together, Grant and Amanda formed a united front against Laura. The custody battle turned toxic, with Laura fighting for her sons against 2 determined opponents. Amanda fueled Grant's aggression, making Laura's life unbearable. The court battle was brutal. Grant and Amanda painted Laura as unstable, twisting her pain against her. Laura documented everything, desperate to prove she was the loving, stable parent. Her devotion to her sons drove her to Grant's apartment that fateful July day. She was fighting for her children's safety, but she was walking into a trap. The triangle was set for tragedy. July 13, 2011. Laura went to Grant's apartment, hoping to resolve their custody dispute. She wanted peace for her sons, not knowing she was stepping into danger. Grant and Amanda had other plans. Inside that apartment, a confrontation turned deadly. Laura's life was taken in a moment of violence. Grant and Amanda began a chilling cover-up, determined to erase all evidence. They dismembered Laura's body, trying to make her disappear forever. The brutality was unimaginable. Laura's fight for her children ended in horror, but the truth would not stay buried. The nightmare was far from over. The search for answers had just begun. Laura's disappearance triggered a frantic search. Her car was found abandoned, her purse and phone inside. Police turned to Grant's apartment. Bleach, cleaning supplies, and suspicious purchases told a grim story. Surveillance footage showed Amanda buying bleach in containers. A forged note tried to make it look like Laura left willingly, but investigators saw through the lie. Grant and Amanda drove to Texas, visiting Amanda's sister. Police tracked their movements, suspecting they were hiding something horrific. In a remote Texas creek, investigators found human remains. Dental records confirmed the worst. It was Laura. Her body had been dismembered and scattered. The evidence was overwhelming. Bleach, forged notes, and a gruesome discovery. Grant and Amanda's attempt to cover up their crime had failed. The community mourned, but justice was closing in. The journey from North Carolina to Texas was a trail of evil. Laura's family finally had answers. The truth was out. The killers could not escape what they had done. Justice was coming. Grant Hayes and Amanda Perry were arrested and charged with Laura's murder. At trial, each blamed the other, but the evidence was undeniable. Grant was found guilty of first-degree murder, sentenced to life without parole. Amanda was convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to at least 13 years. For Laura's family, it was a measure of closure. Her sons are now raised by loving relatives, shielded from the darkness. Laura's story is a warning about the dangers of domestic abuse and the importance of trusting your instincts. Love should never be control or fear. Laura's legacy is a call to recognize red flags and protect yourself. Her light was extinguished too soon, but her story can save others. Justice was served, but the pain remains. Laura Ackerson's memory lives on, in her children and in the lessons her story teaches. May her tragedy never be repeated.